Well, earlier I spoke to the CEO of Brighton and Hove Albion Football Club. I started by asking him if he agrees with that assessment, if indeed the chairman of this new Super League has a point.
He must be talking to different young people than the ones I talk to, because the young people that I talk to want good competition. They want exciting football. They want the competitions to be as competitive as possible so that the big clubs don't always win the games, or certainly not win them by a large margin. So he must be talking to very different people to us. You know, for over 150 years, football has existed on healthy competition, clubs having good years, bad years, winning games, losing games, winning trophies and missing out on trophies. That's part of the drama, the jeopardy, the emotion that actually goes to create the narrative around what is the biggest sport in the world. If you start concentrating wealth and power in the hands of just a few small clubs who win everything all of the time by large margins, then frankly, we are going to turn off not just young people, but old people as well. And that's really not what we're about. That's not what this sport is about.
Paul, I just want to hear just a little more from the new chairman of this European Super League, of course, the president of Real Madrid. Have a listen.
Es verdad que el fútbol ya iba perdiendo interés.
Interest in football has already been lost. First, we have to analyze why 40% of the young people between 16 and 25 are no longer interested in football. So, why are they not interested in football? Well, because there are too many matches of poor quality and they aren't interested. They have other platforms to entertain themselves with. This is the reality. They're not going to kick us out of the Champions League. Not Madrid, not City, none of them. I'm sure, completely sure. Not from La Liga, from nothing.
Your response?
Well, I can't speak for the level of competition in his league. But what I can speak to is the competition in the Premier League, where the smallest teams, the lowest position teams, are regularly giving the biggest teams tough games. It doesn't mean to say that we win all of those games. We almost don't expect to win all of those games, because already there's a huge disparity between the wealth and power of the top clubs in the Premier League and those of us that are at that level. So what I can say is there's a huge amount of competitive football played in the Premier League. There are very few games where we go into those games knowing full well what the outcome's going to be. There are very few games that are dead rubbers. There are very few games that don't attract good audiences. There are very few games that don't attract a huge amount of attention from the media, not just in this country, but across the world. But of course, it may be different in Spain. We can't speak for the Spanish league. And he is obviously perfectly entitled to his own views about that, but it's not something that we're seeing in the Premier League.